So just tell me like what was going on during that period where, you've got a month and a half runway left. And so you come up with this idea of doing a calendar app as kind of the third iteration of this company. What were you thinking? Like there must have been a sense of urgency, not only to ship this thing, but accomplish what in the next month and a half?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like you mentioned, it was the last shot we had on goal. When we launched, we had a month and a half of runway. And so I remembered about 2 months before we launched, we were in office hours with our YC partner, Aaron, at the time, and we were just dejected. We were like, we're out of money. We don't know what to do. This thing is taking a lot longer to build the prototype for, the MVP to launch. And while we were dejected, there was also this sense of lightness because there was no other option, right? You just had to do this the best you could. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's this like juxtaposition of feelings inside. It's like this peace, but also this like high strung stress. And I remember just sitting there and we just decided, hey, launch this as quickly as possible and try to grow the thing and get money from investors, from users, charge from day one. That was a decision we made out of necessity, not because it was a strategy. A lot of companies like to launch a free product, get users, grow that, and then convert them. I had to jump on every single call with every single user when we launched, and I would show them the product. I had this script I would practice over and over again till I would say I perfected it. And at the end of the call, the user would be pretty excited, and I would say, okay, can I send you a $15 invoice? And a lot of times they said yes. So we got a little bit of revenue. It wasn't really enough to save us. But on one of the calls, and I think we had 3 weeks, or a few weeks of runway left at that point, I said, hey, can I send you a $15 invoice for a subscription? And that user said, how about I put in a $5,000 check instead? And that moment, I can't even describe. It was like so much weight was lifted off my shoulders. We had already prepared legal docs to shut down. I have a screenshot of Mike's email to our lawyer asking how much the legal fees are. And the lawyer was like, oh, in California, it's like $800 for your company or something like that. So we were fully prepared to do that. But that $5,000 saved us. A few days after that, I think we got another check for like $150, and that really put us in a good position. And for the next 6 months after that, I actually used those onboarding calls as a vehicle to fundraise. The thing a lot of people don't know is that we launched Vimcal a month and a half before COVID lockdown. So if you remember at that time, the first few months, no one was giving out money. So it was also like the scariest time to be launching something. But because I was showing everyone one by one how to use the product, I think the desperation showed, but also the passion for the product. A lot of investors did write checks at the time, and it did save our company.